I'm happy to say, like, I'm still an evangelical Christian. I don't see any need to move that label away from where I am and what my beliefs are, but I feel like I've come to a place of freedom from some really ridiculous belief systems, the really damaging belief systems. And how it happened, well, first step is I met a girl in high school who's now my wife. And being in California, everyone just assumed where I was in a small town, California, everyone was white or Hispanic, right? And so everyone just assumed, oh yeah, Heidi's another Mexican girl. But anyway, we started dating. She's like, no, I'm Palestinian. And so that was the start, just to be like, oh yeah, okay, so what's going on? What's the situation? That whole like with family members going, oh, when did the family convert? And that whole thing, like, well, they're Palestinian Christians. Like, we converted, they didn't convert. But even then, it was a long process. I eventually got a degree, started studying history. That was a big love of mine. And so my first degree at Cal, UC Berkeley, for those not in the Bay, was in history and Middle Eastern history. And then I went to seminary, did a couple years to straight seminary. It was Fuller Seminary. They had an Islamic studies program and got connected with Dr. Martin Akkad. And, a lot of that was in the missions and missiological field. And so started really directing myself that direction. But really just this sense of long, slow deconstruction via personal relationships. And my wife still has tons of family, proud Bethlehemite. She's born and raised here in the States, in California, but her family, still a very strong Bethlehem connection. And the historical narratives and getting the sense of that, and then the theological narrative, and just also realizing like Palestine and the issues and Christian Zionism particularly is so important to so many things and the cause of so much suffering. I kind of talked about my own personal psychological suffering as a kid, but I mean, this is the direct result. Like, we have a genocide taking place, and it is the Christian Zionists being the biggest cheerleaders in the name of God for the destruction and death of our Palestinian siblings. And if I'm going to call myself a Christian, and the fact that, Christian Zionists far outnumber Jewish Zionists, I have an obligation and a responsibility. And that is why I'm so honored to be part of this work and this institute and this initiative.